Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Soundcheck. It is my absolute honor to welcome DJ Akhtar.
Thank you, Sid. Thank you. And great name, Soundcheck.
You've played some of the biggest parties for some of the most influential people in this world. The Ambanis, the Bachchans, the Khans. You were also there for Priyankachopra's wedding, which was a big thing.
There was a couple of instances when Brad Pitt and Angelina were visiting and shooting in India. So there was a small after party. They didn't tell me. Oh, I just went casual and suddenly bang, it's them.
And it was very interesting what you said, that you are not passionate about your music, but you are very good at it. Which just sort of blew my mind, that what's the biggest difference between being a poor DJ and now being a rich and successful DJ?
My biggest achievement and my biggest award is all the love and respect I receive from DJs across the country whom I've never met.
Soundcheck.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Soundcheck. Today we have one of the OGs, a man who has laid the foundation of the Indian nightlife and who has been creating history for the past 3 decades. It is my absolute honor to welcome DJ Akhtar.
Thank you, Sid. Thank you. And great name, Soundcheck.
Thank you, boss.
Soundcheck 1, 2.
Audio is good, guys.
Thank you for having me on your show.
Absolute pleasure, sir. Thank you for coming. It is such an honor to have you.
It's entirely my pleasure. हम लोग वेले बैठे थे, हमारा कुछ काम धंधा है नहीं आज.
I highly doubt that, sir. आप काफी busy आदमी हो, वेले तो बिल्कुल भी नहीं हो आप. But of course, we'll get into that. Before we begin, though, we obviously want to thank your best friend and our mentor, DJ Clement. I want to thank him because he's welcomed us to his beautiful home. This is the first time ever that we're doing Soundcheck inside somebody's home. So a major thank you and kudos to Clement and the music school as well for obviously always being such an important part of our journey and just being so supportive all the time. So,
and it's his birthday also. So happy
birthday as well. He's actually not even in his house. हम कितना भी बोले Clement और TMS के लिए कम है, but of course today we're here to talk about you. So I want to quickly move on to you and get to know you a little bit better.
Sure.
So the first question that I want to ask you is something very interesting. I read an article about you over the past couple of days while I was researching. And it was very interesting what you said, that you are not passionate about your music, but you are very good at it, which just sort of blew my mind. It's a very unique perspective. Why do you say that you are not passionate about music? Please tell us.
See, I'm being very honest. And when we speak honestly and from the heart, the reply is yes, I'm not very passionate about music. But I do a fantastic job. I presume and assume that I'm doing a good job while I'm at it. The circumstances in which I joined the DJing field was very, very weird because it was almost like a part-time job that I was looking out for. And I had no such inclination towards music. I'm talking about 88, 89. And at that time, I come from very humble background. So we had to pay for our own college fees, we had to pay for our own clothes, we had to pay for everything. So we had like a budget kind of thing. Everything seemed so tough. Even to buy a railway pass for 3 months, it was a task for me. I had to budget for it and things like that. And to educate your own self, pay your own college fees, it was everything seemed very... And so we used to, every vacation, we used to look for odd jobs, part-time jobs. And I worked probably in every single field. And I've been working right since I was in my 6th standard. And then post 10th, immediately I started DJing. I got this break. Said, will you be a DJ? There were hardly any DJs in the country at that time. There were no nightclubs. There were no bars. There was nothing, There was no. So I'm talking about the era when there was black and white television with just 2 channels, DD1, DD2 on them.
Right.
And there was no music anywhere available. There was no internet.
Right.
There was no access to music. So it all started back then. So hardly I can say that I was passionate about music. If I say that, I would be lying to myself.
Right.
I just needed work. And this came across. And when it came across, I decided to put in my 200% and give it all I have, because that's the way I've always been. That if I take up something, I want to do it with sincerity.
Right.
I want to work really hard to it. I don't want anyone to point a finger that Akhtar is not good at his job, or Akhtar didn't do this job, or he's late at work, or something like that. I'm a perfectionist.
Right.
I like to be on time for everything, and I like to give my best. And I've been doing so since the past 3 decades now.
Yeah.
Just working hard, still going through the struggle and the hustles and the hassles and all the good things and the not so good things that come with our profession. And I'm very happy to have chosen what I did, more than 3 decades ago, and still doing it.
Right.
I'm very happy about this fact. Back in the day when I chose this, because I've have a good educational background as well, and my parents were very skeptical. They were like, boss, you're graduating, you're doing your commerce, you're a graduate, you're doing your business management, you're trying to pursue your MBA, this, that, and what is this DJing?
Right.
Kya to gana baja ke kya kar lega? So I had no reply. My mind was, boss, I need this money.
Yeah.
At that time it was about the money. I need this money. I'll pay for my own fees. I'll buy some new clothes. I'll do my railway pass. I'll eat something. So it was all about that. Living in a budget.
Yeah.
And I had no explanation, and they were very distressed, and they were a little bit disappointed in me and my choices. But slowly and steadily, when the accolades, the awards, the recognition started coming, they felt proud.
Right.
Oh, DJ ko mera beta hai, wo Bombay Times mein dekha, page 3 mein aata hai. So they started feeling very proud about it.
Beautiful.
And that's how it has been. And yes, when I am speaking to you, when I'm in my daily life, it's a different Akhtar.
Right.
But when I'm behind the console, oh man, it's a different, something takes over me. It's like that. And I like to give my 100%. I like to be, people call me more of an entertainer.
Right.
Because I like to interact with my crowd a lot.
Yeah.
And it's a good experience for me in giving my audience a great memory.
Beautiful. And I'm sure that passion has now developed though, right? Or does it still feel to you that it's still sort of a job that I need to do and be done with it?
My passion has definitely, increased, but not for music.
Okay.
For the field that I'm in.
Very interesting.
I would say I'm more passionate about my industry. I'm more passionate about DJs,
Right.
about the art of DJing, and more importantly, the need to unite the DJs. I've been, very aggressively trying to unite the DJs, not only of our city, Mumbai, but also of the country.
Right.
In doing various kind of things, some excuse to get everybody together, because I feel from my heart that these are the only 30 years, boss, you live your life, you miss out on all the New Year's Eves with your family, you miss out on Diwali, Christmas. There is no occasion, Holi, anything you say, I'm working.
Right.
And who am I surrounded with? DJs. Automatically, all the DJs are my family. If I want to go out also,
Right.
I don't have a show, say, on a Friday night. I want to go out. Who am I going to go out with? DJs. I'm going to be calling Akil, Suketu, Akbar, someone, boss, what are you guys doing? Let's go, let's hang out. So they automatically become our brothers. They automatically become our family. And a lot of DJs, the young ones especially, fail to recognize the fact that it's good to hang around with other DJs, good to appreciate.
Right.
These are guys who are your family. So my main passion, as you would call it, is to unite all of us together.
Wonderful.
And make it one big family. And, we're doing a United DJs Diwali Bash on the 12th of November in Mumbai.
Right.
And this is the same thing. So last year we had over 750 DJs from all across India, and all Indian DJs working in the US, in Hong Kong, in Singapore, in Nigeria. They joined us. They bought their own tickets, their own stay, and they joined us all wearing traditional Indian kurtas, and we had a blast.
Wonderful. And of course, you touched upon so many things that I really want to dive deeper into, and everybody knows everything that you're doing for the community and for the industry. Like I said, I definitely want to dive deeper, but before that, you also mentioned that you come from a very humble background, right? And obviously your journey, it couldn't have been easy. So the one thing that I want to understand is that what's the biggest difference between being a poor DJ and now being a rich and successful DJ?
For a DJ, whether you're poor or rich, you should have a good sense of music, a good sense of your craft. And that's the only thing that's going to take you to places. The rich or poor is just a factor in life. That's life. That's how you deal with it. I'll give you an example. So when I was not so rich, when say I was poor, my staple food was vada pav. Bombay, we have this vada and pav. We love it. That was my breakfast and dinner. I love that. Or it was burji, egg, anda burji, and pav. Till today, that is still my staple. It doesn't matter how much money you make. So I'll travel abroad. I'll go to Greece. I'll go to Spain. I'll go to the US. I'll go there. But the minute I land, boss, jaldi kar. Mere mujhe de kuch. So it's good to know about different people's culture, and it's good to know what's happening outside, taste their food, absorb their culture, but always be grounded and practice your own. So I believe in that.
Wonderful. And I also heard about this thing. I don't know if it's true, but please tell me that you don't have speakers at home. Is that true?
Yeah, I don't be true, man. I don't like to take work home. देखो मेरी बात सुनो. डॉक्टर है, सर्जन है. आप उसके घर पे जाओगे तो आप सामान सब कटिंग वटिंग ये बैंडेजेस ये वो सब पाओगे क्या? नहीं ना.
नहीं.
Does that mean he's a bad doctor?
No, of course
no. No. So as simple as that,
Right.
So when I'm at home, I have a different life. I like to Netflix and chill just like everybody. I like to order from Swiggy, Zomato. Just I'm a total foodie. So it's a different thing altogether. So I don't feel that I need. Like I'm a DJ, I need speakers in my house. I don't feel the need for that. Because, you're doing so many shows, you're doing 4 gigs a week. You're already in a nightclub or in an ambience where there are loudspeakers all the time and all that. Ghar pe to thoda shanti roko. So that's my belief.
Fair. Okay, that's fair. I can understand that, even though I still don't believe it. But if you're saying it, okay.
No, I have speakers. I mean, misinformed. I have the dome focused speakers I have.
Okay.
It's not been used unless and until I'm, watching a movie or something like that. It doesn't get used. Sometimes when guests come, sometimes when we have DJs coming over, sometimes we have a party. Okay, then it's been used. Then we do a Spotify playlist or something like that. We do that.
Got it. Fair. So next up, I have a deep question for you, sir. You've been doing this for the past almost 3 decades now. Obviously, there are so many learnings that you have about music and so many other things. But what I want to understand is that what have you learned about life that you want to share here? पिछले almost 3 decades in the music industry, जिंदगी के बारे में आपने ऐसी क्या चीजें सीखी है जो आप यहाँ पे बताना चाहते?
I think most important thing is ये दुनिया बहुत ज़्यादा बदल रही है at a very high pace. Every year, something in the world is changing, and sometimes it's not for the best. You try and be sincere at least to yourself. Don't try. I mean, the social media, all this is great, but don't let it dictate terms to you. I mean, you should run social media. Social media should not run you. So don't be so much carried away with all these things, because most of these things are make believe, fake. They have a personal life also.
Right.
I've realized, that my phone is not everything.
Right.
And I try and keep it aside as much as possible. I can't, but I try my best. I make an attempt, at least when I'm with friends, when I'm out for lunch, when I'm, having my personal time with my loved ones or something like that. I make sure that, I'm less distracted by that. It's very important. The essence of life is meeting people, having a conversation.
Right.
Also, please understand that if you have parents and all, learn to respect them. Learn to spend little time with them. The time is all that you can give them. Once they are not there, they're gone, you're not going to even have that time. So don't ignore them.
Right.
Just buying things and buying gifts is not enough for anyone. You need to value people, you need to value them, and you need to give them time.
Correct.
And cherish your friendships, cherish your relationships, work sincerely from your heart.
Right.
I think these things are super duper important. A lot of people are slowly drifting away from reality. For example, I give all these things a lot of thought. Now tell me, when was the last time that you wrote anything on a piece of paper?
It's been a while.
It's been a while, right?
Yeah.
Because we are changing so fast. So imagine the next generation is not going to be able to write.
Yeah.
Because they got keyboards and things like that.
My notes are here.
Exactly. It's good.
Yeah.
It makes stuff easy. But it's somewhere, you're drifting away from reality. Somewhere you're drifting away from... So I prefer to be grounded. I visit the same places I used to visit 25 years ago. For me, probably I'm one of those few guys. For me, the ambience where I'm having a meal or something is not so important. I don't need a Instagram-worthy place to eat. But even if I'm eating on a cart on the street, the food should be good, boss. So these are the things. So these are the things that make me feel good about myself.
Right.
And pamper yourself. Give time to yourself. Don't depend on others to make you happy. Happiness is you. So you are the one responsible for your happiness.
Right.
If you have mental stress,
Right.
for that also you are responsible. Because you are allowing other things and other forces to dictate terms to you. So a lot of things like this we ponder about, we think about, and a lot of these kind of learnings,
Right.
and they come with as you get older. These things come to you, they strike you. Yaar, ye mera dost hai. Yaar, ye mera bhai hai. So this also, I was not so generous, and I didn't feel like, all this things that I feel now. I used to not feel them 20 years ago. But now I value those things. And hence I value DJs. I like criticism. I can never always be right. We have to understand that. We need to understand that, yes, we can go wrong. Sometimes hum bhi galti kar sakte. It is okay to say sorry, boss.
Right.
So small things like this.
Very, very interesting. And thank you for sharing all of that. It's really refreshing for someone, frankly, at your stature to be so humble. I just want to let you know that. I'm sure you already know that, but it's really nice to kind of get to know you and, really feel that genuine sort of humbleness from you.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
And to be honest, you sort of achieved a lot, man. Like you've, won all of these crazy national, international awards. You've played at the biggest clubs around the world. You've played at these huge events, again, international, national. What to you is your biggest achievement?
I think for me, my biggest, without any hesitation, I can say the respect that I've earned from all the DJs across the country. I'll give you a small example. I was in Rajasthan, I was in Jaipur just last week. They've just formed a Rajasthan DJs Association. I was so happy about it. And they invited me as their chief guest for their Diwali bash. And the love I got from all these DJs over there. And I didn't even know that Jaipur has so many DJs. There were like a good 150, 200 DJs there. And these are small, like Rajasthan is what? Jaipur, Udaipur, Jodhpur, Ajmer. So there were DJs from all these places. Some of them don't have nightclubs. Like, there aren't very prominent nightclubs. Maybe they have 3 or 4 nightclubs in Udaipur. But there's so many DJs, and I was so happy to receive the love. My biggest achievement and my biggest award is all the love and respect I receive from, DJs across the country whom I've never met. For me, I'm definitely not the number one DJ. I'm not number 100 also, but I'm definitely the most loved one and the most respected one. People have always, if you'll see, our Diwali parties also, I meet so many of them, and they just come and they hug me, and they feel good, and they've come from small towns, from 3-tier cities and things like that. So I feel very privileged to gain so much of respect and love from so many of them.
Right.
So that's my biggest achievement.
Beautiful. Why do you think that is?
I'm not so sure, but I think somehow they connect with my story. And somehow they feel that there is a small, when I speak or when I'm doing things or conducting workshops or anything like that on a day-to-day life, somewhere they feel that there is they see a part of themselves in me. और उनके लिए ये हमारा भाई है. अगर ये succeed हो गए, हम भी succeed हो गए. It is somewhere that kind of feeling that they get.
Got it.
So I'm not pretentious, as you can see.
Right.
I don't like to be pretentious. I am what I am, move forward on the face and, honest.
Right.
So if I don't like something, I'll try my best to tell that person in a nice way that was, this is not right.
Right.
But if I like something, I'll overdo it. I'll oversell it. Boss, I love you. It's good to pay compliments, boss. It's a very important thing.
Of course.
You must pay compliments to everyone.
Right.
And why you should do that, suppose you are in a nightclub. There is a DJ. He's just 6 months down the line. He's not so experienced. It will change his mind. It will motivate him. It will inspire him. If you just go up to him and tell him great music, even if music is not so great, but if you go and tell him great music, superb, love you, what is going to happen? There's like a positive chain of reactions that are going to happen. That's going to inspire this guy. He's going to go home, work harder, come back. I'm too good.
Yeah.
मुझे बोला उसने.
Right.
That way. So it's always good to appreciate others. And I love to appreciate people.
Absolutely.
Except Clement. Like the more you appreciate him, the more my appreciation happens.
You get one person that you
enriched it all. We are going to, all throughout the interview, we are going to be trolling him.
Done. We miss him, obviously. I would have loved him to, be sitting right here.
Yeah.
But of course, next time we'll love to have both of you on board.
Done. That'll be great. So we have a IP called Double Dolki.
We know, of course. But we don't get to hear too much from you together these days.
Because he's a part of it. Nobody wants to hire us. We do a lot of shows. In fact, we are doing a huge thing in Goa.
Okay.
On the 6th of December.
Okay.
So we'll see Double Dolki in December, peak season in Goa.
Lovely. Stay tuned.
Yeah.
And moving on to the next question, obviously, like we were talking about your achievements, you've played some of the biggest parties for some of the most influential people in this world. Be it Hollywood, be it Bollywood, you name it, the Ambanis, the Bachchans, the Khans. You were also there for Priyankachopra's wedding, which was a big thing. And this is just a small list, by the way. This list goes on and on forever. So what I want to know from you is, what has been your craziest experience working with all of these legendary people?
It's been great. Actually, some of these things, when they come up to you, it surprises you. So sometimes I've played for Hollywood celebrities when they were visiting India. And the protocol is they never tell you, the people who hire you,
Okay.
they never tell you that whose party you're going to be doing.
Okay.
And that you find out only when you reach the venue.
Okay.
So back in the day, this used to happen. So there was a couple of instances when Brad Pitt and Angelina were visiting and shooting in India. So there was a small after party. They didn't tell me. Oh, I just went casual and suddenly bang, it's them.
Right.
And this them and like 20 other people. So in the same instance, there was Michael Douglas over here, and he was friends with I think Sahara Shri, the Ambe Valley guys, and we did a couple of parties over there.
Okay.
There was Christina Aguilera. They had a couple of parties with her, with Shakira, Steven Seagal, and a lot of people. We never know, and it's been great. It's overwhelming. It's I get nervous also because I'm like suddenly shocked that my God, these celebrities are here. We've only seen them in movies,
Right.
and you never even know when they come to the country and they go. Now there is a lot of media, there's a lot of hoo-ha, and there is a lot of even the celebrities want that that the paparazzi notice them and all that. But back in the day, it was so low profile, and it was so like you would never know who's come and gone. I'll give you one instance. It was once I was playing at a wedding in Mumbai. It was for a huge, a massive businessman. I won't take names. And it was at the house in Malabar. No, what is it? Walkeshwar. It was in the villa bungalow in Walkeshwar.
Okay.
And they had their own home theater, which they converted into a green room. But their home theater was massive, with like 100 seats.
Wow.
So we were sitting over there, and you won't believe, they told me, Akhtar, it's a small thing, get together, just come, please, give some discount also. I said, "Theek hai." Now I'm sitting over there, and I'm seeing over there someone over there. I said, "Wow, yaar, this looks like seen this guy somewhere. Some foreigner guy was sitting over there." I said, "I think this looks like Ricky Martin." No? Suddenly then, and we have now Ricky Martin. So then after that I saw behind one band of mariachis and all, and I said, "Wow, yeah, this shit, they fully dressed up, this full the mariachi band and all." I said, "They look like Gypsy King. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Gypsy Kings." I'm like, "What the hell?" Then I saw a short girl just sitting over there with a couple of people and all that. I said, "Wow, I can bet she's Shakira." And we have Shakira. I'm like, "What the hell? These guys are bargaining with me for a few thousand rupees."
Holy.
So things like that have happened, and it's taken me by surprise. It's pleasant. I was super happy to do the Priyanka Chopra Nick Jonas wedding as well.
Right.
I did all 6 functions. I was probably the only artist.
Right.
I was very happy, very lucky to be chosen by by the couple and by the wedding planners, Motwani and company. They're my friends. And it was a superb experience. I was little nervous because such a huge profile wedding, and I'm the only artist, and I thought, okay, boss, will I do justice to it or no? But it was fabulous. It was a great experience, and all these experiences were really, amazing time. So the good thing about these celebrities are that the bigger the celebrity, the sweeter and nicer and kinder they are, and they are always grounded. There's a lot to learn from them as well. I think the ones who have the attitude are not so big celebrities. So the biggest ones are the sweetest. For example, even Mr. Shah Rukh Khan, I was doing Juhi Chawla ji's husband's 50th jazz thing again at the Umaid Bhavan in Jodhpur.
Right.
And of course, Shah Rukh is the closest family friend. And Mr. Shah Rukh Khan was invited over there. And it was such an amazing experience. You were dancing, happy, this, that. And slowly later on, he was probably the last person on the dance floor till 5, 6 o'clock.
Wow.
And post that also, we were sitting, and I had like a good 10-minute nice cool casual conversation with him. And at that time, this was like many years ago, that time he told me, "My son loves Bryan Adams." And I had made one whole mix of Bryan. I said, "Sir, I'll give it to you." I had a CD that time back then, and I gave it to him. He said, "Thanks a lot, yeah." So things like that, small instances, and all which it's happened everywhere, all throughout the journey it's happened. And it's been really nice and very, very inspiring and motivating. Like when I was a resident DJ at the 1900s nightclub at the Taj, there for 16 years.
Right.
So we had Keanu Reeves visiting India very often.
Right.
And he used to always prefer to stand in the DJ console. And he would prefer, he was very, the most down to earth being that you can ever see.
Right.
He was part of a band.
Right.
And he plays
the guitar.
Yeah, he plays the guitar. He was part dog something. I forgot the name of the band.
Yeah.
So he used to come hang out and all. I had such lovely conversations with him.
Yeah.
And I never felt. So as I said, the bigger the celebrity, the nicer that they are, the sweeter they are.
Wow.
So many such things that I have all etched in my memory.
Beautiful. And one question that I want to ask on that is because there's still this sort of image of a DJ in India, right? DJ aren't really they're not really part of the party, as in some sense. Have you ever felt this in some of these bigger events with these bigger celebrities? Like, do you feel part of the event, or are you somebody who's just there and the party sort of separate from that?
That's a very good question, actually. You said it is entirely how the host wants you to feel. Sometimes, unfortunately, happens in Delhi a lot. The host never meets you also.
Not surprised.
The host doesn't even meet you. The whole night is gone.
Right.
And somebody just recommended him, "Ye DJ." But probably doesn't even know our names.
Yeah.
This, that. Just so it happened. Yeah. And some of them, they love, they become family, like my friends in the US. I've been going the last 15 years to perform for these guys.
Right.
They are like my absolute family boss. Absolute, like we make it a point. Of course, I perform at their functions and all, but all of them now, they are like my brothers. We make it a point to meet once a year in any country possible, and that's how they may have made me feel. Although they are client, it's a client, relationship. I'm an artist, they are the client, but we become friends, we become family, and I'm sure that happens with a lot of other DJs also. I'm noticing that happening with a lot of DJs that I know, like Lemon, like Ganesh, and a lot of these DJs, for the clients love them.
Right.
And the clients, and they love the clients, and they made such a nice bond. And why this bond helps? Because the client will never look back at going to another DJ. He'll always hire him for all his events and recommend that particular artist for all the events.
Right.
That's a plus.
Absolutely.
So it's entirely up to how the client makes you feel. But yeah, we are open, boss. You want us to party with you? We are the party guys.
Wonderful. And, this is obviously such an interesting topic that I want to keep talking about, but we have a huge list of questions. So I want to, move on to a few other topics as well. So, Akhtar sir, you're obviously an open format DJ, right? But primarily you're known for Bollywood. And so I want to understand, because we are primarily from the underground space, and so is our podcast and primarily our audience as well. So we want to understand, how does your part of the world, meaning Bollywood and commercial and, all of that, look at the underground side of the world? Like, is it something that you're competing with? Is it something that, you want to be sort of more involved with? Like, I'm just really curious, how do these two worlds sort of, look at each other? How do they function?
It's like Saas Bahu. Underground hai, djakhtar hai.
Nikhil mere ghar se.
It is. No, I'm just kidding. It's not so dramatic. For some strange reason, I'll tell you something.
Ji.
Now, for example, this Diwali bash, it's for DJs. It's not for Bollywood DJs.
Correct.
It's for DJs.
Right.
But somehow I feel that the underground DJs don't want to be a part of. It's the other way around.
Ji.
They don't want to be a part of the Bollywood.
Cool for it, do you think? Or at least
they're not
into that.
Cool for it, but I'm not. I think they need to be pampered and requested and please aajao. Something like that. Because we don't personally invite anyone.
Ji.
We just put out a story. Everybody just comes. So I would love. In fact, we have a thing that Lil B and myself curate. It's called the UDCL, the United DJs Cricket League. We just happened, and this time, just to include the underground participation, I spoke to Rohit Gidda, Almost Human.
Of course.
And I told him, boss, why don't you come?
Right.
Why let's make you captain of one team. So we somehow got him on board and made him captain of one team. His team was the only team that didn't practice even once, didn't come for any session. Non-responsive on his group.
Not surprised. Not surprised.
But he came. He was there and he supported us. So I love him for that.
Right.
And I have a lot of chats with him. I mean, we speak a lot.
Right.
And I like to know about his accomplishments, and I like to know he's very grounded, very humble, and I love the guy. So I'm doing my best to involve him wherever, and involve them.
Right.
So I call Anki also many times wherever possible, and I bump into him. So I share a fantastic rapport with all the underground, the techno DJs. My personal rapport is amazing. Kamchar are best, like buddies.
Right.
So Hussein, my ekdam jigri.
Right.
So I share a fantastic one-on-one relationship. Even Ivan and all, we make it a point to meet whenever we are in Bangalore.
Right.
But it is tough getting them on board social gatherings. Probably because they're busy. They're very busy. And also because maybe they themselves would feel out of place. Yaar, main kya karunga yahan ke? That. But I would love to bridge the gap, and I would love for them to get involved with us, come on our picnics, get more involved.
Right.
It will be so cool for us as Bollywood DJs to have the underground DJs with us, like that. Right. So they are most welcome. I have a great relationship with Mahafaiz also. In fact, we've done so many shows where, wherever there is a requirement, I always reach out to her.
Right.
So I think I share an amazing relationship with all of them.
Lovely. And a lot of the names that you mentioned, some of them have already been guests on the podcast. Some of them we're planning to get soon. But of course, like you said, all of them have a lot of respect for you, a lot of love for you. And as far as...
I would love that you ask them also this question.
I would love to. Yeah. I mean, it is a bit of a tricky situation, right? In one way or the other.
I would love to get their reaction on this.
Yeah.
How do you feel? Why don't you come for the Diwali bash, for example?
Right. I think some of the points that you mentioned, they do make sense. But I think to your point as well, maybe a little bit more effort can be made from this side of the industry as well to sort of, find some sort of a middle ground.
Yep.
And talking about middle ground between the two worlds, of course, there's this huge wave of Indo House, Bolly Tech, Indo Tech, whatever you want to call it. I want to really get your thoughts on this, boss. What do you think this is? What is this happening? Why is it happening now? And is it the future or is it just a trend?
Always accept change. Anything new is good. Now, back in the day, I was playing on vinyls.
Right.
From vinyls, we got the first CD player, Technics, which was like this big and weighed about 12 kilos. Then slowly we came down to sleeker players. Then we had the Denon console. Then we had the CDJ, the old, CMS console. And then slowly, and we from CDs, we graduated to pen drives, USB sticks. And then... we are now using softwares and record box, and life has become easier and simpler. So accept changes, accept new things. New things are not so bad. And the current wave of Polytech, Indo warehouse kind of music and all, it's brilliant. It is the right way of bridging the gap between underground and Bollywood. By the way, we are bridging that gap.
By the way,
I'm not so happy. I'm not so sure if the underground is just happy about this.
That's a great point. A lot of them aren't. A lot of them are, and we are absolutely in love with the sound. We have our own IP called Masala House. We've done a few shows. They've been wonderful. The response, the experience has just been amazing. So we are huge fans.
Yeah, and we've gone a step further. We've gone a step further and graduated from the Polytech and the Indo-Bolly warehouse kind of music. And now we are doing Afro-Bolly. And it's picked up like Really nice. Imagine a soothing 120 BPM vibe, but with Bollywood.
Right.
And it's so good, and it's so nice to see people growing for a change instead of 3, 2, 1. It's nice, no?
Right.
It's nice. So change is good.
Right.
Something different is good.
Right.
You know?
And there's a market for it.
Yeah, there is a market for it.
People are asking for it.
We do everything. That's why we are open for my DJs. So you cater to everyone this way. You know, and it's nice. So change is good. It's there. And the feeling of this is more international.
Right.
It's more appealing.
Right.
And I'm sure DJs abroad are going to slowly adapt and start putting in a couple of these tunes in their sets as well.
Absolutely. We can see it literally every day. There's so many of these, you know, really big established artists who are not just playing this kind of music, but also producing this music.
Yeah. I think India has got some of the best DJs and some of the most amazing producers doing a crazy body of work, coming out with such brilliant mixes, such brilliant tunes.
Right.
You know, there is nothing stopping the Indian DJing fraternity now.
Absolutely. And one important thing around production with Bollywood is the copyright issue, right? I know that you've spoken about this previously as well. Can you just sort of take us through it? What exactly is the challenge and how do we solve it?
So what happened during the pandemic, DJs started playing, you know, music from the houses. And this was purely for the entertainment of people. It was not for any monetary gain. It was for nothing. They were doing sets, live sets, recording, you know, and posting on it. And the whole country was sitting at home. And that was the only way to interact with people. And they were doing a wonderful job. Then suddenly what happened is that Facebook and other social media platforms started having an issue. And they started saying this copyright. I said, boss. And then even without that, in nightclubs, and the DJs were playing music, suddenly we got, कि ये music इस company का है, for example, यशराज का है, इस यशराज का license का है, is that, ये music T series का, इसका license का है. And I had been to all the offices of all these big, massive music companies, and I spoke to them. I said, we are DJs. We are the brand ambassadors for your music.
Right.
What are we doing? We are playing your music, which is in your movies, and we are making that music famous. And you want to charge us for that? I said, I can pay. There are many of me who are well-to-do can pay. But today our community of DJs is in lakhs. And it has reached across the cities, across the metros, to 2-tier, 3-tier cities, even in small towns, there are DJs.
Right.
They cannot afford to buy a license.
Right.
They definitely, I know the situation, they cannot. Why are you troubling them? Why are you asking them, why are you putting pressure on them to buy licenses and to do this for what?
Right.
Why should they, you know, you want to... you want them to not play the music? I can make a post, okay, boss, please don't play this music, this company's music. And I'm sure few DJs will follow me. And so then they understood that, you know, these are the guys who are making the music famous.
Right.
So why should we, you know, charge them? I said, you want to charge, you find another way. And then a few years ago, it was decided that the DJs will not have to carry any license in India. But the venue where the music is being played has to procure a license. So now the nightclubs have to, if they're playing Bollywood music, have to procure a couple of licenses to play Bollywood music.
Official.
And now, so for example, it is absolutely official. And now even, for example, if you've hired a small venue in a 5-star hotel or a banquet, so then it becomes the responsibility of the person who's hosting the party in the banquet hall to procure certain licenses. There's a list of licenses. So you need to procure them. So it's no longer the, you know, that we succeeded, we fought, and thanks to the understanding of the music companies, the DJs don't have to procure this license.
Wonderful. I think this point is still not clear to a lot of artists on the ground? Because there is still a lot of discussion that's happening कि okay, there's a lot of gray area कि हमें क्या करना है, नहीं करना है, can I play this, can I not play this? So it's great to get this clarity from him actually. But you're confirming that
Yes,
absolutely official. And
so sometimes what happens is that now also there is a little bit of tittle tattle going on that अरे हमने ये एक लाइसेंस ले लिया है. Now this company is saying but तुमने ये कंपनी का लाइसेंस नहीं लिया है. So then what the club also, the owners also feel they pressurized. So then they tell the DJ, भाई तू ये सब गाने मत बजा. बाकी सब बजाना, इसका इतना बड़ा बैंक है, बाकी सब बजा, ये 2-4 मत बजा. So that's the thing.
Okay.
Because the club doesn't want to procure so many licenses.
Okay.
Actually, this happens only in India.
Ji.
You know,
Right.
we are pressurized and this and that and all.
Right.
It doesn't happen anywhere else.
And why do you think that is? Is it because
It's a money-making venue, no? It's a place to make money. It's a different form of making money. तुम्हारे गाने चले ना चले तुमको पैसा मिल रहा है.
And do you think the labels are willing to sort of, take that step and, try to understand what these challenges are, or are they too big and, unwilling to kind of change their ways?
I think it's some of the middlemen who've taken this as an opportunity. You know, the labels, if somebody sat with them and explained to them the role of a DJ and how music needs to be marketed and how music needs to be pushed, in all sources for it to become famous, they wouldn't mind. But I think there are certain middlemen who made it a business.
Interesting.
And told them that, boss, this is another revenue. मैं आपको ये licenses में ही 100 crore बना के देता हूँ. You know, India is such a big country. There are so many venues,
right?
So many DJs, so many artists. सबसे लो, जो मिलता है ले लो. Even now, if you see, there is no fixed amount. They may ask you for a lakh of rupees a month, but they'll say, "Chalo, ठीक है, 75 दे दो."
Okay.
So this happens, unfortunately, in our country, and it should stop. It should stop completely.
What other challenges do you see in the industry right now that are really pressing and that need solutions?
I think we definitely need to form a united an association, some kind of unity and all. I've been trying to do so since several years.
Okay.
But whatever, the minute I start doing that, there is some political party, something which approaches me, and I don't want to be inclined to any political party,
Okay.
As said, because this is a pure form of art.
Yeah.
I want it only for the artists. So we are doing our side of the work quietly, slowly, at a slow pace. But it's about time that we all unite, form an association. But for that, everybody has to have the right mind. For that, everybody should say and look at each other like brothers, that okay, let's unite. If there is even 1% jealousy, this is not going to happen. For example, there are 10 DJs, but there are 2 DJs who क्या कर रहा है? Their job is only to put other people down. कुछ नहीं होने वाला है, पैसा खा रहा है, this, that. You understand? They're not so optimistic about things, they're pessimistic. So I would request everyone, boss, if you cannot do something good for the community, at least do not condemn those who are trying.
Right.
Don't support. Don't want your support. If you don't want to support, if you feel it's nonsense, don't support, but don't put us down also. Because in the end, we are all together. We are all you. We are the same people.
जी.
तो कोई अच्छा करने की कोशिश कर रहा है, करने दो बेचारे को. ट्राई करके हार जाएगा और क्या होगा? तुमको थोड़ी तकलीफ दे रहा हो. As long as he's not harming you in any way,
right,
please let others do their work.
Right. Fair, absolutely fair. And what do you think that most DJs are doing wrong that they should change immediately as soon as they listen to this podcast?
No, I don't. I'm nobody. First of all, I'm not qualified to speak on behalf of other DJs.
You are not the nobody.
It is not fair for me to judge anybody. I will never judge any DJ.
Your experience, obviously.
For me, I find and I try to seek the goodness in everyone. And to, as I said, to condemn people is very easy. किसी के बारे में बुरी बात करना बहुत आसान है. और वो हमें जितना हो सके नहीं करना चाहिए.
Okay.
Sometimes I'm telling you that I'm not such a great DJ.
जी.
I can read the crowd.
जी.
I'll be very honest. I'm not such a great DJ. I can read the crowd. I can manage. But sometimes my shows, they don't go that well.
जी.
Sometimes I'm making mistakes. And I know I've made mistakes. But I know people talk a lot.
Of course.
And I feel sad. If outsiders talk, na, no problem. But मेरे own community के लोग जब बोलते हैं ना, तो मुझे बहुत बुरा लगता है. So I would never ever speak bad about any DJ. I know कि maybe यार he's having a bad day. Maybe थोड़ा कुछ glitch हो गया. शायद वो अभी कोई किसी ने कर लिया कुछ घोड़ा गाड़ी. ठीक है यार, कर लिया, होता है, सबके साथ होता है. मिक्स नहीं आया. But इसका ये मतलब नहीं तुम उसको फांसी पे चढ़ा दो. He's the bad DJ. He's the worst DJ. नहीं. So we have to learn to, be a little bit more tolerant, accept, have some certain kind of acceptance, and be a little bit more sweet and nice and kind to other DJs.
It's underrated. Do you think being nice? I feel it's underrated.
Yeah, I mean, what does it take? You tell me.
Not much.
It doesn't take much. It's the same amount of time and energy that you're taking to put somebody down.
Yeah.
At same time and amount of energy you can take someone to uplift him and, to make him feel better.
Yeah.
Why you want to put him down? Why would you like to do that? For what reason? What is the so much negativity inside you? Why is it dwelling inside you?
Right.
Why you can't get rid of it? He's from the same profession.
Right. I think it comes from like you said,
it's a competitive thing.
Right. It comes, I think, primarily, at least in my opinion, from a sense of envy.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
This guy.
इसके पास 22 शो है इस महीने के. मेरे पास सिर्फ 4 है. अरे तो 4 तो है ना. खुश रहे यार, तेरे पास भी आएंगे. There'll be some time when तेरे पास 20 शो हो गए, उसके पास 4 हो गए. Everybody has that time.
जी.
And you have to accept that.
जी.
And you have to feel happy for others also.
Right.
It shouldn't be that only you are happy for yourself all the time. Oh, I won this. But if other guys want this, when you win something,
right,
you want congratulations, everyone to write, great, bye, kya maja aa gaya, ye wo.
But you don't.
But you don't want to congratulate anybody else. Do like whatever you want, do from your heart.
That absolutely makes sense, boss. And I think hopefully listening to you, people might change their mind. Hopefully all of your positivity will rub off on them.
Everyone is positive. You just have to अंदर झाँक के देखो और उसको बाहर निकालो.
Fair. So, since we spoke about this, the next question that I want to ask is sort of these ups and downs that an artist faces, right? Because this is not an easy thing that any artist does, right? Today, they're feeling on top of the world because they have multiple gigs lined up. Next week, they don't have any gigs, so they're feeling really low. And, like you said, maybe even envious of somebody who's doing much better. So, har roz, all of these emotions get very complicated, yaar, how does one deal with it? How do you deal with it? And how do you recommend people deal with all of these emotions?
Oh, it's life, no? It is. Sometimes you have good experiences, sometimes not so good, as I said. And who doesn't want to be busy? Everybody wants shows, everybody wants recognition, everyone wants to be busy. And sometimes it so happens that you have to make way for some others also to get that same chance and to, get that, and you should be happy for them as well. So when you don't have, for suppose one particular month you got X amount of shows, the next month you don't have the shows. So what you need to do is at that time not panic. You don't need to feel any kind of anxiety कि boss मैं क्या करूँ, gigs नहीं है, ये वो क्या करूँ. No, there is nothing. You just need to reflect, take that opportunity as time off. Do something constructive or relax completely with your family or whatever you want to do, because normally you wouldn't be able to do that. For example, अभी सीजन आ रहा है, अभी नवंबर दिसंबर is going to be peak season. अगर आपके पास अभी दिवाली में 1 week कुछ टाइम है, तो boss, why would you want to work in that time also? If you don't have a show, think of it as a blessing from God. Catch up with your friends, meet people, go out and party, watch a movie, do something now. Because all these things you absorb and you get refreshed, and then you come up more stronger for the season because you also need a break. So it's like that. So do whatever you want, find time to do whatever you want. Just don't find time to for anything to affect your mental health. Don't get stressed. Talk to people whom you consider your friends, and always be positive.
Right.
If life is giving you a tough time, it's only temporary. But you can always 101% believe in yourself and think that boss, it's a phase, it will pass. जैसे कि पैंडेमिक में हम लोग कितने पैनिक हो गए थे, we couldn't go out, we couldn't do anything, but when we left that behind, it's all a one big thing. अरे चलो हो गया उसमें भी मजा किया हम लोग ने, चोरी छुपे दूसरों के घर पे गए, पार्टियां की, सब किए. So we found opportunity in everything.
Right.
And it's not that my shows go एकदम great and all. No, I'll be lying if I say that. I still have gigs which are not so great.
Okay.
But I've seen some DJ, what they do is even if the gig is not so good, they'll post and then put footage of some other crowd, of some other DJ. Why would you want to do that?
Right.
So don't do that. If it's not so good, not so good. Every time you don't have to kill it. Sometimes don't kill it. Sometimes just stab it. So it's as simple as that one. You have some good gigs, not so good gigs. Sometimes people ask me, especially Clement and all, I be very honest with you. I said, बेकार गया मेरा, एकदम बेकार गया. Crowd ही नहीं आया, what नहीं आया तो नहीं आया भाई.
But how do you feel after a show like that? Because I know for every artist, it is disheartening, right? I mean, you market a show and you feel pumped for it, you're excited, and you get there.
पहली बात तो it's not the responsibility of the DJ,
of course,
to get the crowd.
Of course.
People are giving us too many responsibilities. पहले हमारा काम था सिर्फ म्यूजिक बजाओ, घर पे जाओ. अब तुम बोल रहे हो म्यूजिक बजाओ, सोशल मीडिया पे पोस्ट करो, कैमरा वाले को लेके जाओ, फोटोग्राफर, सिनेमाटोग्राफर, ये तुम पूरा भेलपुरी बना रहे हो, तो ऐसे कैसे चलेगा? So I don't think we should limit ourselves and do what we do best. If playing music is what you do best, just play music, boss. Be happy, And life doesn't end. Sometimes you get good gigs, sometimes you get bad gigs. Sometimes the gigs are not so good. It's just an experience. And both type of experiences in life are important, are imperative. Both kind of experiences are very important, so that you can understand. If you don't have a bad experience, how will you know that this experience which was good is so good? You will not cherish it. So bad experiences are equally important in your life.
Makes sense. And to be honest, I'm also feeling a little lighter now, knowing that someone like you also had a bad gig.
Of course, boss.
Boss के gig हमारे तो जायज.
It is, I'm telling you. And हमारे पे ये लोग responsibility इतना डाल रहे हैं कि crowd भी तुम लाओ. हमारा काम नहीं है, crowd लाने का काम आपका है, promoters का है. They have to bring the crowd. हाँ, हमारा काम ये है कि वो जो crowd तुमने लाया है, make sure that they don't leave the dance floor. That I'll guarantee. That I'll guarantee. If there are 10 people or 10,000, you make them have a blast. You make them have a fantastic time. You make them go out saying that, boss, kya mast DJ tha, maza aa gaya. So that is your responsibility.
Wonderful. And just, to double click on that, you are known for your crowd interaction and, crowd reading and all of those skills. So how do you understand के audience के दिमाग में क्या चल रहा है? And how do you sort of build on that? What are your tips for it?
It's the most important part of DJing is to read the crowd. It's to read your audience. If you don't read your audience, no matter how well prepared a set you have, you're going to completely forfeit up. You're not going to succeed. So read your audience, judge them. If you see you're playing in a nightclub where there's a massive row of people, girls and boys, all excited, all spaces, and then boss, start off with bangers. Just start off with bangers. You use the mic a little bit, entertain them, how much, whatever in your capacity. But they want to see a show. They're here for a show.
Right.
Now the same thing, if you see that there are it's a different thing. It's a corporate gig, and there are more mature audiences and all. Then try and play more originals.
Right.
If it's a regional crowd and you see that you need to change the toning from Bollywood, you need to shift to Punjabi, but not the AP Dhillon kind of Punjabi, but the traditional Punjabi and all, because you see that these people, the gentlemen, are a little bit more mature. Then do it. That's how you read a crowd. So if you don't read the crowd correctly, you're going to fail. But if you read the crowd correctly, you're going to have the most nicest, smoothest of journeys. And that's the only way, to be. And I like to interact a little bit with my crowd. I'm always looking at the crowd, direct contact with them, looking at the eyes, looking at the reaction after every song. And I'm never, I'm very spontaneous. So even I don't know what I'm going to be playing next. It's a surprise for me also. So I'm just reading all this. They're doing, they're screaming. और एक गाना निकालो ऐसा जिसमें वो और चिल्लाएंगे.
Right.
It is like that.
Right.
So there's a big point is that sometimes DJs, they get a little bit nervous. You know why? Not because of the crowd. Because somewhere in the crowd, in the corner, are 3 more DJs. So they are diverting the entire attention from here to here. Every single song that they're playing, they're looking at that DJ. They're going to play the most exclusive song. Just look at the DJ's reaction. So I would urge them not to do so. You can go wrong, you can do this, but don't leave the crowd. You have to impress the crowd.
Right.
First.
Absolutely.
As long as the crowd sings along, they're jumping, they're grooving, they're dancing, your mission accomplished.
Right.
That's more important.
Wonderful. That's a great message. And I think we also kind of get stuck in our own heads, like you said, right? So just kind of open up. And at the end of the day, you're there to have fun. People are there to have fun. So just have a blast. I think if you go in with that attitude, a lot of things, will work out.
Absolutely.
Wonderful. So just the last, couple of questions with the one and only DJ Akhtar. You recently started a DJ's cricket league, which is unheard of. Like, पहली बात तो आप DJs को सुबह सुबह उठा कैसे रहे हो? पहले तो आप मुझे ये बताओ. और ये DJs हैं कौन जो खेल पा रहे क्रिकेट यार? Who are these
The most prominent and the biggest names in the industry. They all are involved with cricket.
Are they all just hungover?
Shocked. I'm like baffled, boss. I'm like, the skills that they have. So these guys all find time in their own cities.
Right.
DJ Lemon, from he has his own set of friends and players, and they play regularly on the turf in Pune. Notorious, amazing player, boss.
Wow.
You will see them, you will be shocked. You'll see all of them, the way they play is next level. You'll be like, what is happening?
Wow.
They're diving and all on the field. They're taking catches, they're hitting sixes. It's amazing. What an experience. And we are not the only ones who are doing it. Throughout the country, there are DJ leagues happening.
Okay.
Yeah, there is. Even in Kolkata, has a very, very big sense of cricket, and that DJs are doing this too.
Lovely.
So, but we want to unite. So for us, it's boss come from everywhere. What we do is we have a registration form online, one month before the United DJs Cricket League. Put out the form out there, and we tell boss, please register. Put your traits, whether you are batsman, bowler, fielder, whatever, or you're just doing time pass. Just put your whatever traits you want.
And time pass is also.
So do that. Only unfortunate thing is we get like 700, 800 entries. We cannot have everyone play. We have only 8 teams. It's a single day match.
Okay.
8 teams, and
And it's only happened once.
No, this is the second time it's happened.
Okay.
And now the third time.
And it's happening how frequently?
Once a year.
Once a year. Okay.
Year before last, it was on the... last year it was on the 2nd of October.
Okay.
All our activities happen usually on dry days.
Of course.
So that we have maximum participation.
and nobody's drunk also.
No, the clubs are shut. No. We'll get maximum participation.
Right.
So that is more important. So we time ourselves like that.
Yeah.
So Yeah, so we can't make everyone play because the time is short.
Of course.
So there are 8 teams. Everyone plays like, A plays versus B, C plays versus D, like that. So quick 8 matches.
Got it.
And we start off in the morning. We finish up, end up by 8, 9 in the evening. We have a prize distribution thing and trophies, medals. We stitch jerseys for everyone. Every team has a special name like Bollywood Dhamaka, remix this. Some Tabori Kings, Akhil Telreja, like that. So all that, we keep special names for everything. Like every year we come up with some creative team names and all. And we give them the personalized jerseys and things like that. And it's super. And it's the full ambiences of like a picnic.
Right.
We have food stalls.
Right.
Everything is subsidized. Everything is like 20, 30 rupees. We have the pani puri, sandwiches, pizzas, chas, this, that. No alcohol.
Right.
We have Red Bull and things like that. And it's a great experience.
Who's the star?
Everybody is a star, boys, over there. Oh, we have commentators also, and everybody is pulling each other's legs and all. मैंने देखा था, like, इसके mixes इतने अच्छे हैं, अपन cricket ज़्यादा अच्छा है. So there are a lot. Everybody is like, pulling each other's legs and all that. So it's hilarious. It's hilarious. People are out, and we make sure that in each team we put one female DJ.
Okay.
Yeah, so we have one female DJ also in each team. We we want to empower them also, and we have participation, very good amount of participation from them also.
And how did Clement sir play?
No. I think he was missing out on a lungi. What he did, he came in shorts and he kept pulling it up. I don't know for what reason. He kept pulling it up. We have all his pictures with his shorts like up, like as if he wants to turn it into a bikini or something. So I told him next time now you'll get your lungi, you come in lungi and you play.
Oh God. Amazing. I think, we started with Clement sir. I think this is the right time to end it as well. Just one last message, anything that you want to say to people who are watching?
No, have fun. Don't be so serious. And for me, a message to all the DJs, inspiring DJs, and would be that I love you all. You are my family. I mean it whenever I say it. And try and please come for all our get-togethers. We would love to have you. We cannot invite everybody personally. But अगर आप हमारा कोई मैसेज देख लेते हो इंस्टा पे या कई स्टोरी देख लेते हो तो प्लीज थिंक इट्स फॉर यू एंड मिलो आओ चाय वाय पियेंगे दारू वारू पियेंगे कुछ तो करेंगे.
Wonderful, boss.
Have fun and be inspired, and please inspire me also. I very much get inspired and motivated by all of you. Thank you, Sid, for having me on Soundcheck. It's a great experience.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, sir. I wish you all the very best.
Thank you, boss. Thank you so much. This means so much. We really appreciate your time. You're an absolute legend.
It's my pleasure.
All love you. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep killing it. And thank you so much for everything.
Thanks a lot.
Cheers.